Hi everyone, Trish, Facebook Live, and I'm talking to you here from my home here in New South Wales, Australia. And I wanted to give you a little bit of an update on the book that I have been reading, and actually I should say rereading, because I've pulled it back off the shelf, and I was talking about it in my last video, You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. And the first chapter is quite a big chapter, and it talks about, it's called Me and Money. And it was a very, very relevant topic, and I think when you're running an online business, it is incredibly relevant. It's one of the main reasons why people actually get into this business model, to replace an income and ultimately maybe replace two incomes and create a better lifestyle for themselves. But money is that sort of main driving force in those early days, and to get certain results financially, which is really, really important, as well as creating that lifestyle that you want to create as well. So this chapter, first chapter in this book, is called Me and Money. And we know that there are a lot of problems that are created in relationships and marriages as a result of money. It can be either a lack of money. Arguments can be around the plans for money. So in other words, how that money that's coming into the household, how it's allocated or how it's distributed. There are potential arguments and stresses around how it's accumulated, how it's saved. And so the list goes on. The arguments can be around the lack of money. A lot of arguments are around, a lot of relationship breakdowns is as a result of the lack of financial resources or the lack of money coming in within a household. So it's an incredibly important topic, and I think it's something that, and it's covered in this book as chapter number 1. So it is an essential part of the conversation that's going on in this book. And one of the key things that was really highlighted to me is that money must be circulated. Now, I was coached by Bob Proctor back in 2006, and if there was one thing that came out of his coaching, it was the fact that money must be circulated. So it's an interesting conversation around that. What do you mean by money must be circulated? Well, it must be generated, brought in, but then also put back out there to regenerate. In other words, to create more of, rather than keeping or hoarding or saving. I mean, saving is a way, you can generate interest from saving. But if you had a money bank or a piggy bank, as they call it, and you've got coins accumulated in that piggy bank, it's completely useless. It's worthless. It's doing nothing. It's not being recirculated. And I always remember Bob Proctor telling me that, because it's such an important aspect of my real estate business, for a start. And I always used to say to myself, and I still say to myself, well, that's okay. The money that's going out for my real estate business is creating new jobs. It's rehabbing houses. It's putting families in homes. It's generating taxes on properties. It's allowing councils to collect taxes, and it's occupying houses, and it's revitalizing neighborhoods. Okay, so by putting money, by circulating money, by reinvesting in your business, you're circulating money. But there's so many other different byproducts or different consequences of doing that. So it's really important to keep that in mind, especially too when it comes to creating and developing your online business. What's going to happen is, as an affiliate marketer, you actually get paid commission on other people's products and services. And the only way that business can grow is if you reinvest those commissions, that you get paid back into some sort of marketing budget. In other words, put that commission back into circulation. Okay, and it can be through the business. I mean, you can take those funds and you could reinvest them in something else. You could reinvest them in real estate. But what you're doing is you're again circulating those funds. So it doesn't really matter what you circulate them into as long as you're putting it back out there. Now, by any means, I'm not saying squander that money. I'm saying circulate that money. Okay, so it's always been an important lesson for me, because sometimes the stresses of juggling money, especially when it comes to real estate, it can be quite overwhelming and create a lot of anxiety around it. However, I always used to remember and say to myself, money must be circulated. It's a really important part of any sort of entrepreneurial business journey. And what does he say? Because I've got the book here. He sort of mentions as well that once you put money out there, it tends to just fly into action. As soon as you put it out into circulation, you know, it really, and it's a way of leveraging you as well by leveraging your money. So that's my share today. Actually, I wanted to share a little bit of a story on the back of that too. I remember my mother telling me a story about my great grandmother. When she passed, they had to, and this is a long time ago now, when she passed, they had to go into the house. She was living on her own at the time. And what they discovered there, they were quite shocked. They found, because she was living in the UK, in England, they uncovered paper bags hidden all over the house. And in those paper bags were thousands and thousands of pounds. And I think in total they discovered or uncovered £100,000 in these paper bags that were situated all around the house. And so she was too lacking at the time in a simple thing like a washing machine. So it's incredible, isn't it? Like, put that money into circulation rather than, you know, hiding it away and not having or hanging on to it and not wanting to release it. It's a really important universal thing. If you release it out there, circulate it and get it moving, doing other things. So that's my share today. TrishandChrisOnline.com, LegiaLifestyle.com, and out there is a very windy, blustery day today, so it's nice to be in here on a Friday working on the business. Check in with you again very soon. Bye for now.